Regular season is concluded. The playoffs are now set. Ryan Preece went flying through the air, which hope he's all right. Word is that he is. So let's talk about it. Daytona. I know I said I was gonna have the video up last night after the race, but unfortunately, work has tired me out. Plus, with Ryan Preece barrel rolling 10 times during the race, I wanted to make sure I had to report that he was good. So this is going up a little later, but all reports indicate that he has been released from Halifax and is flying home to Charlotte, which is good. So let's hop into the final race of the regular season. So heading into the race, we had 17 different drivers who could win the race and secure the final spot in the playoffs. Fords were up front. Stewart-Haas had a 1-2, 9-10. Like, Fords were the dominant car. They led majority of the first stage. Like, it was side by side, but nothing really happened. Everyone was pretty orderly. 36 laps for the first stage was kind of odd. But at the end, the Toyotas did get up front. Martin Truex Jr. was the winner of stage 1. Stage 2 kind of started out the same. Just no one really pushing the issue. Like, the issue was starting to be pushed. This stage, because it was a 60 lap stage, did require a green flag pit stop. Everyone was orderly. You kind of had the manufacturers coming together, the Toyotas, the Fords, the Chevys. So team orders kind of happening. Some of the big hitters like Bowman, Suarez, they were lagging back, but Chase Elliott was up front making moves. At this point, I'm trying to remember who else was up front. Like, a lot of drivers were up front that needed a win. Coming out of turn 4, the last lap of stage 2, you had Ryan Blaney on the inside line being pushed. I forget who was pushing him. The outside lane had the Toyotas of Ty Gibbs being pushed by Christopher Bell. Going through turn 4, Christopher Bell unfortunately does not make a smart move. He decides to keep bump drafting through turn 4, and that spins Ty Gibbs to the inside. And honestly, one of the hardest hits. If you have not seen it, go look up how hard Ryan Blaney hit that outside wall. That in-car, watching that was devastating. Like, he hit so hard. Glad he did a interview after. Sounds like he's good. He probably hurt. He definitely looked like he felt it. Like, it was a hard impact into the outside wall. In my notes, I said it was easier to write who survived. Oh, Brad K was pushing because Brad K won stage 2. It was honestly going to be easier to write who survived the big one, because as they're like entering the trial on the start finish line, only 6 guys really emerged. Like, more cars kept running, but like only 6 guys at the time emerged. And I thought, okay, now this is going to be a boring race. It kind of did. We went single file with 40 laps to go, but we still had another pit stop needed to make it to the end, which honestly shuffled the order up. The guys who pitted a lap before ended up like gaining time, and then they went single file again, and then with 12 to go, actually no, 5 to go, not 12, my bad. 12 to go is when people started to get racy. We were done with the single file. Everyone was jockeying side by side. 5 laps to go. Mid-pack, Ryan Preece gained a push from Eric Jones. Gets hooked, spins, collects Chris Buescher, ending his chances of making the playoffs. But before Preece's car even hits the grass, he's getting a little airborne. Once the car hit the grass, he's barrel rolling 10 to 14 times. There are way too many flips to tell you exactly how many times that car flipped. which honestly sucks for Priest. Sounding like they might need to get someone to replace him, which is honestly a smart move. At least give him a week off because that was scary. They were showing the car, like, he climbed out under his own power, which is good. They put him on the stretcher, took him to the infield care center. But when you see the car as they're loading it onto the flatbed, it's like 5 feet shorter. It's like, that's not good. That car's totaled. It was a surprising race. Because it was being 5 laps to go, overtime. Kevin Harvick was the lead car. He had Chris Buescher. It was the top 4: Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, Brad Kay, and Chase Elliott was the top 4. So Harvick had to decide top or bottom, and he knew whatever line he was going to take, RFK was going to take the other line. He goes inside. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman line up behind him. Brad Kay and Chris Buescher line up on the outside. Buescher and Brad get around Harvick, and Chris Buescher wins his 3rd race of the season, entering the playoffs. Here's the top 10. Harvick, unfortunately, does fall back to 9th. Was leading. I kind of was hopeful just because he had some magic at Daytona. God, I really wanted to win. Alex Bowman comes home 6th. The minute I saw Chase line up in front of Bowman, I'm like, Bowman's going to be the team player and push Chase if need be. So I was kind of upset. Byron 8th, doing his job, trying to push both of the other 200 guys up front. But Chris Buescher, Brad Kay, 1-2 for RFK. They're showing speed at Daytona. Watch out for them at the 500 next year. Almirola, rumor is it's his final season. 3rd, trying to make the playoffs. Close. Chase Elliott, 4th. Didn't really want him in it, even though kind of wanted him in it for my prediction video, which we will review, and it'll be live on the channel. I'm thinking having that scheduled for Wednesday, so watch out for that and how bad I did. Joey Logano comes home 5th. Alex Bowman, as I said, 6th. Kyle Busch bringing home the 8th car for RCR in 7th. Not a bad day. Byron, I said. Harvick, I said. A top 10 for Corey LaJoie. Not bad for LaJoie. Bringing home that number 7 Spire. The rest of the running order, we had an impressive showing from Spire with the 77 of Ty Dillon, who also could have qualified, coming home 11th. The guy securing the 16th spot with points. Bubba Wallace coming home 12th. McDowell 13th. Impressive showing by Austin Hill in 14th. Chandler Smith in his 2nd start, I believe I saw the graphic say, comes home 15th. Christopher Bell 16th. Chastain 17th. Eric Jones 18th after causing a very scary accident. JJ Laley 19th. Suarez, who needed to win, 20th. Justin Haley, also another one, 21st. Josh Berry subbing in for Noah Gragson. Pretty much it sounds like the rest of the season. 22nd. BJ McLeod, 23rd. Martin Truex Jr., our stage 1 winner, 24th. Tyler Reddick comes home 25th. Denny Hamlin, 26th. Kyle Larson comes home 27th. Harrison Burton, 28th. AJ Allmendinger, 29th. And then we get to the guys out at the accidents. Chase Briscoe, 30th. Ryan Preece, 31st. Austin Dillon came home 33rd, was caught up in the big one. So was Ricky Stenhouse, 34th. Ty Gibbs, 35th. Ryan Blaney, 36th. Austin Cindric, our Daytona 500 winner from a year ago. So this year's 500 and last year's 500 winner both out, 37th. Riley Herbst, 38th. And Brendan Poole, 39th. Daytona is good. I'm not really going to talk about the playoffs just because I am planning to have a video up tomorrow discussing my picks for the playoffs. So kind of want to leave my thoughts there. Kind of wish we would have saw some crazy chaotic stuff to have a new winner. I understand why we didn't. But looking at the race, this is a 500, I mean a Pepsi 400, Coke 0 400, whatever you want to call it. For me, it will always be the Pepsi 400. That's what I know from growing up. That's why I love Pepsi and my love for Gordon. So that's how I remember the night race at Daytona always being. But it's gonna be one that I remembered. It ran on a Saturday night like it was scheduled, wasn't rained out, actually finished, wasn't rain shortened. And Ryan Priest's flip, I know I keep going back to that, was the highlight of the night. Like, glad he's okay, but NASCAR is going to tear that car apart to figure out what got crushed, because that car almost looks like a pancake. It caught air, flipped about 4 or 5 times, hit the ground, popped back up, flipped 4 more times, hit the ground, this time digging, catching the right front tire, ripping that off, and flipping even more before coming to a rest. It was glad to hear the reports that Priest is okay today. Like, that was my main worry is, okay, I see he's up and moving, but what's wrong up here? Because, yeah, he's moving, but for all we know, he has concussion-like symptoms, and that can be worse. But all reports sound like he's good. And I've seen people go, oh, why didn't Brad Keselowski go for the win? Because Chris Buescher, it's his car. Brad's going to victory lane no matter what. We've seen this before with car owners. Like Jeff and Jimmy being teammates in 04, back early 2000s. And the biggest one I want to point out, look at 2001 when we lost Dale Sr. What was he doing? Making sure Michael Waltrip in the 15 for DEI and the 8 car of his son, Dale Jr., made sure they were in front of him. Dale Sr. made sure his 2 cars stayed 1-2. He was content being third. Because he knew if the accident didn't happen, he was going to victory lane. He knew. And, like, if I'm a team owner and driver, like, yeah, it'd be great for me to win in my own equipment. But at the same time, it's a lot cooler looking at the record going, hey, we got a 1-2. Instead of, yeah, I tried to pass Buescher, and instead we ended up with a wrecked car and me in victory lane. Or, hey, I might have passed Buescher, he gets wrecked, and I got passed before the caution lights come on. Like, you never know in that situation. So Brad here made the smart move and going, let's just bring home the trophy. Well, I know a lot of people have been talking about that and going, oh, Brad should have attempted if it wasn't his own car. And it's like, it was his car. He's signing the paychecks for his employees. It's a lot nicer having the purse for first and second place than first and 28th. A lot easier to sign the checks having 1-2. But I'm glad to see RFK is moving up in the world. Hurts me seeing Bowman here. Really wanted him in. He was down at the start. Hopefully, he gets the back figured out. Spends the next 10 weeks just trying to find the speed he had earlier this season. And I will see you all in tomorrow's video where I predict a championship winner round by round. That video, I will be discussing the 16 drivers and then giving my picks on who's going to make it in the round of 12, the round of 8, the final 4, and then my pick. So look out for that tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll be reacting to my playoff prediction from before the season. That'll be fun. I haven't actually watched any of my videos once I've finished editing them, so that will be fun watching some cringe, cringe video. But look out for those. I am planning a live stream tomorrow also, so keep an eye out for that. Maybe tonight. I'm not sure. But that'll do it. Please like, subscribe, help me as I hit the mic, sorry. Help me grow the channel. I would love to make this a career, but right now at work, so doing this on the side and trying not to destroy my body in the process. But I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.